let's get it going. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go! Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. It is 10 p.m. Thursday evening, and we are here live on Studio A. Yeah, you've waited all week for the most cutting-edge topics and guests, and now it is time to deliver. That's right, it's the Stephen D. Kelley Show with your host, Stephen D. Kelley.
Well, I don't hear anything, so I'm assuming we're on the air. Terry, could you go ahead and check and see if we are on the air?
Sure.
Anyway, we've been having a few starting issues. Keith, of course, is supposed to be doing this, but his computer failed. So Terry picked it up, but 7:02, and I'm assuming that we're on the air, but I didn't hear any commercials or anything, so you never know. But for the last few shows, I haven't heard any commercials either. We've had some issues. So if somebody was in chat, just let us know, first of all, that you can hear us. Well, are we getting any response there, Terry? Are we live?
Yes, we are live.
How about that? Okay, I'm going to have to get a recording of my music so that I can play it, because it's just not a show if I don't get to hear my announcement. I feel like less of a host. Mahmoud, do you feel like it's less of a show if you don't get to hear my music? Mahmoud? Are you there?
I'm here. I thought you wanted me to mute.
No, I do want you to mute, but now I'm talking to you. But I have a question for you. When the beginning of my show, if you don't hear the music, my fancy music, do you think it's not quite a big show anymore?
Well, not that, but I would feel it is kind of missing something.
Yeah, I know. Okay, all right. Well, anyway, thank you for. I apologize for that. Okay, let me just say a few things before we try to get started here. But so you can go ahead and relax for a little bit. Good morning, of course. We're trying to get Gabby in here, and he's probably asleep too. But hopefully we'll get him in here, and he'll get some coffee, because I know he has a lot of things to talk about, as does Mahmoud here. But anyway, before we get started, this is the Stephen D. Kelley Show. I am Stephen D. Kelley. Thank you for listening. I still have a crappy microphone, but I just want to let you know that I have a new one on order that should be coming soon. Well, sometime in November. People trying to talk to me. I wonder who that is. Anyway, this is Revolution Radio, www.freedomslips.com. We do depend on your donations, so please go to our site support button. It's the one that says donate on the left side of the main page at www.freedomslips.com, and that tells you how you can help out. And gosh, we just started a new month, so clean slate. I think we did pretty decent last month. I don't know, but we always need it, so please do. A lot of other things I want to say, of course. I do the Facebook thing quite a bit, and of course there is the Revolution Radio Facebook page, which is just past 5,000. Thank you very much. And a lot of times I read these little things, or I get these messages from people responding to some of the shares and things that we do on our various pages when we share these ads for the show. And people say things like, "Oh, I'm going to watch," or "Gosh, I got to work." If you know who you are. I can't, oh darn my job, it prevents me from listening to it live. Thank goodness for the recordings, stuff like that. And I just want to say that that's really nice when I see, because I know there's a lot of people that listen, and it's a huge number. And of course, we are kind of numb to that. We don't really think, some people, I think, when they do this radio thing, they think, oh my God, there's some, 500,000 people listening to me right now or whatever. And I guess that's kind of intimidating, but you don't really think about it unless you actually get feedback from the people. So when we do hear people say that they look forward to it, or they enjoy what we do, it's pretty cool. and it just, it gives value to what we do, and it's nice to reflect that people are actually listening and they appreciate what we're trying to do when we put on programs, just like what we're doing right now with Mahmoud here. And the main thing is that I just want to say hi to those people. Okay, as my friends on Facebook, this is my opportunity for you to hear my voice and say hi, hi. Okay, I don't know how much more personal I can make it, but you know who you are. You're listening all the time. You're out there. I'm talking to you directly. Hi. Okay. All right. I had to do that. All right. Now, obviously, we're talking about Syria tonight. Tons of stuff going on. Russia, of course, is doing incredible work, and the world is changing because the world is getting to see the revamped Russian military and the power of their weaponry and yada, yada, yada. Not just that, their strategies and tactics are actually pretty incredible to witness also. And that's not really what we're here to talk about because these guys aren't military guys, but that's, for me, that's kind of fun to talk about. But and on top of that, of course, the United States is doing crazy crap. Obama is talking about boots on the ground, and of course it's a big joke because he's only talking about 50, and everything's a big joke, and it seems like everything they do is ridiculous. But at the same time, it does annoy us when we have to hear these things. And on top of that, there's other stuff going on, and that's why guys like Mahmoud, of course, are having, in spite of things seemingly heading in a better direction, things are still difficult. And I know Mahmoud's got a bunch of things we're going to talk about going on personally in his life, and I was kind of hoping Modar was nearby. Is Modar nearby by any chance, Mahmoud? You never know. He's usually hanging out there somewhere. It's probably too early for him, though. You and your muted microphone. You can unmute your microphone, Mahmoud. Just don't say anything, because I've still got something else I want to say. Anyway, and of course, Gabby. It's like we react the same way. I read these things on Facebook, of course, and the internet, and I see these things happen, developments, and I get angry, and I see the thing. I post stuff, and I see the things these guys post. Mahmoud, of course, you've been going off, and Gabby, he goes off, and sometimes he gets angry. If you know a Gabby, he's really soft spoken, but he does get angry. And I see what he posts. I just like, oh God, I know it. I feel you. And it's like, I know you've got to come on the show and we got to talk about this. And I say, hi, Gabby. And he's like, he knows immediately because it seems like we're tuned in pretty closely. All right. Before I get into Syria, there's one thing I want to talk about very quickly because I need to get this out there for the listeners, especially the Americans that are listening right now. This is important. Now, a lot of people think that I'm pursuing agendas that seem to be counter to the American policy, if you will, the American government policy, which we know, of course, is satanic and criminal and everything else. So you can't expect me to support that. But I am a proud American, of course. I support my country and everything else, and I am not going to knee-jerk denounce anything that our country does unilaterally. Now, which brings me to the South China Sea and the Spratly Islands. Okay, we're going to be talking about Syria, but I need to talk about this real quick because this is important, and of course it's involving Syria, and it's an extremely volatile situation. But I need to talk about this briefly so that people understand, because I'm seeing a lot of propaganda out there coming from sources that we generally support because they are anti-fascist and anti-ISIS and this sort of thing, but at the same time they're spewing some anti-American propaganda regarding the U.S. Navy having to sail their ships by these silly artificial islands created by the Chinese. Now, what everyone needs to understand is that the South China Sea is not connected to China. It goes way down south of anything close to China, and this is the ocean, basically, area that runs between Vietnam on the west and the Philippines on the east. Okay, and then down below that, it looks like we lost Mahmoud, but hopefully we'll get it back. Down below that, of course, is Malaysia and Brunei and countries like that. Now, what's happening is that typically nations they have these barriers or these strategic ocean barriers and borders, if you will. And typically, this can be anywhere from 200 miles off the coast of their mainland, up to 12 miles it's like obviously 12. Everybody recognizes the 12 miles, but the 200 miles is certainly um, standard also for a mainland continental area. Now, what the Chinese have done is they've taken these little coral reefs, which are scattered all over the South China Sea, and I mean they're scattered all over the South China Sea, and anything that was even close to the surface of the water, they came in there with dredges. You're back, Mahmoud. Hang in there. They came in there with dredges and covered them all with sand.
Hello?
Yes, we hear you. What happened? Okay, there you go. Relax. You got a lot of
Hello?
noise. Mahmoud, you're making all kinds of noise here. Can you hear me, Mahmoud? Probably not, huh? Terry, can you try to communicate with him via text there? Because we're going to have to drop him until you can fix that, all right?
Yes,
So,
I will. You want me to turn him off again, or
yeah, turn him off and then try to communicate him via text.
Oh, okay, all right.
All right.
Sorry, I'm
Hey,
sorry.
shh!
Oh.
Didn't say anything. You talk to him via text. God. Okay. Simple words, one word, yes, okay. That's all. All right. Anyway. All right. They're building these islands all over the place. They're big enough to where they can actually build airstrips and areas for docking large ships. Now, this is very similar to what the United States, of course, did on Diego Garcia. Of course, Diego Garcia is an actual island. They didn't need to cover it with sand and create it out of a reef. But they've done these things very close. Needless to say, they're pockmarked all over the South China Sea, and they are very close to these countries, such as the Philippines and Vietnam and Malaysia, etc. So, needless to say, countries like the Philippines and Malaysia and Vietnam are freaking out over these bases. What the China has done now is they've said that nobody can come within 200 miles of these islands. The problem is that these bases are within very close to the mainland or the countries of the Philippines, et cetera, et cetera. So you can't do that. You can't claim all that area. Turn them off. All right. You're going to have to communicate with them and let them know to fix that before you can bring them in, because obviously that's not going to work. Okay. And also, I guess Gabby is not around either. All right, anyway, so that's it. So the bottom line is that the United States has no choice but to sail around these islands and to challenge this so ridiculous 200-mile zone. What they are doing, though, is they are sailing to within 12 miles of these artificial islands. And if you ask me, that is 12 miles that they're giving them a lot of consideration for even giving them that much. But countries like the Philippines right now are basically asking the United States to do something about it. They are very concerned. We are their ally. We have no choice. We have to do this. That's what allies do. So we do need to support the United States on this, and we do have to recognize that what China's done here is illegal. And if people want to say, oh, yeah, we did the same thing on the Hawaii, whatever, I'm not saying that's right. But at the very, very least, by dumping millions of tons of sand on top of these coral reefs, they've destroyed the ecostructure. So everybody needs to be aware of that and rally around it. All right. I see Mahmoud is back on here, and hopefully he's figured out a way to deal with that noise in the background. I don't know what he's using for audio. I know he was having some problems with the internet today. All right, can you hear me, Mahmoud? Try saying something for us. Dun, dun, dun. Oh. There you are. Speak, Mahmoud. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay. Your volume is still pretty loud, but that's much better. We're not getting all that background noise. So, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
All right, Mahmoud.
Again, the power went off. That's why I disconnected for 10 minutes.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, hey, that happens, right?
Yeah.
I had to reboot right before the show because I had no audio or anything. I thought it was my Skype, and I find out it was Keith's computer which failed, and so we got Terry here at the last second to take over. Haha, but we're here.
See.
I know, huh? All right, now, I guess we'll cut to the chase here. First of all, you've been upset. I mean, this isn't geopolitics right now, but this is you. So let's just talk about you right now, because it's sort of illustrative of what's going on in Syria on the whole. But you're all upset because you got a girlfriend that's leaving and moving to Turkey, and then Modar, of course. Yeah, Modar, of course, he's going to Damascus. All right. So what's going on with this girl? All right, because I know you're always chasing after some girl, trying to find some girl, and it's like, when did she come along, and why is she all of a sudden leaving? What's up?
Well, I've known her for 4 years. We met in we met in college. So like every time I try to like to get hooked up with her, she says no. Hold on, we are just friends. We're not in that level yet.
Yeah.
We gotta slow down and everything.
Friend zone.
So, yeah, friend zone. But she always tells me that we're in the friend zone, but I don't believe her, because one day we grabbed each hands and walked together, and like when you do this. When two people do this, that means they love each other. So she was always shy about it.
Touch was initiated. Yes, very important.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
So
okay.
When things were going better, they had some circumstances. They have they don't have a house. They are renting a house. So the owner of the house told them that he wants to take his house back and to kick them out of their house.
Because he wants to live there or something, or what?
Nobody knows why he did this. Maybe he wants to use it in something. So he kicked them out. They told him, you have to give us an alternative. We have been paying you the rent all these years. So he paid them like 2 million Syrian pounds, and they left.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, just when things were going fine with me and her.
Any idea what 2 million Syrian pounds works out to in U.S. dollars?
Well, a U.S. dollar is almost 300 pounds.
300 pounds. All right. So maybe the calculator has to figure that out. Anyway, it's a few dollars. That sounds like that's reasonable. That's so now they have to go find a new buy a new place or rent a new place somewhere. Why Turkey?
No, they are going to Germany. She has two sisters in Germany, so they go there and live with her.
Wow.
She's going there with her mom and sister. They're already in Macedonia right now, on the borders. They didn't get to Macedonia yet.
How are they traveling?
Yeah, smuggling.
They're
like
okay.
Everyone.
Like everybody else. Okay, gosh. All right. Well, all right. So there's a couple of refugees that we know about who are not terrorists, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so there's not much you can do. Maybe did she at least promise to write or something, call you when she gets to Germany?
Well, she calls me and informs me in every stage they surpass. When they got to Turkey, she told me they were in Turkey, and when they got to Greece, she texted me and told me that she's in Greece. She was in Greece, and now only like 4 hours ago she sent me a message that they are on the borders with Macedonia.
That's pretty scary. Okay, Macedonia. Let's see. What comes after Macedonia? Bulgaria? What's
there are Bulgaria, Hungary, Croatia. It depends on the smuggler, the one who gets you away from the cops and gets you through the borders illegally.
So as Germany is clamping down on this, and the people, so they're getting very violent. Her sister that lives there, how long have they been there?
Well, they got to Germany this year. They have a house and everything. They took do you call that settlement?
Uh-huh.
Like they took settlement in, they were, when you take the citizenship, I mean.
Oh, right. Okay, so they had assistance. The country gave them assistance, but things have changing a
Yeah.
little bit, probably, huh? Oh boy.
Uh, what do you mean by changing?
Well, I mean, Germany has been very open and generous, and I know that the government is still continuing to do that. But I think that the public is becoming
Yeah, the
less.
public is opposing. Yeah,
Yeah,
they are getting tired of it.
they're tired of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I would suppose there are two reasons for this. The first reason that they are afraid of the terrorists from ISIS who escape among the people.
Uh-huh.
They are afraid that they will get to Germany and do some, and terrorize all the people in Germany. This is one point. The other point is that, like they are getting, I'm talking economically here, that why should Germany give all its goodies and everything to these Syrians? I mean, the Germans, they want it for themselves. But why should they share it with the Syrians? That's the point.
Well, obviously we don't want to get into that debate because we know that there's a lot of economic opportunity and people certainly are looking to take advantage of that. And then, of course, the Germans certainly have a good argument about the way that, I mean, okay, we're very close to the Syrian people, and obviously, our concern right now with her family is that they're safe and they make it and everything works out. Obviously, right? But at the same time, we know that strategically, the forces that be want to move millions of people from these other countries, not just legitimate Syrian refugees like your friends, but people from Libya and African countries and what have you, into these Western European countries, and primarily the Scandinavian countries and countries that are typically homogenous, white people, right? And
I know.
if you look at what's going on right now Germany is not so bad because it's a big country, but it's got problems. But if you look at right now what's going on in Sweden, and of course Norway and Denmark are feeling the same thing. But I know in Sweden, I think right now it's got it really bad. Is that the women are all getting raped. it's
I know.
it's really bad. In Austria, I don't know if you heard about this, but in the country of Austria, they've sold out on all the shotguns. I guess people, they have shotguns are one of the types of weapons that they have available for hunting and what have you, but you can't even get them anymore because all the women are buying them. So
Yeah.
something's going on, and yeah, obviously your girlfriend or family are not part of this, but there's a lot of bastards that are causing a lot of problems, and it was intended for them to do that. But at the same time, you hear what's going on now. More people are going back to Syria because of the Russians and what's going on. And you hear that the Russians are going to start bringing in billions of dollars for development too, or redevelopment.
I know. I heard about these.
But they're not going to come back, huh?
Yeah, something is like making me worried that why suddenly all these European countries they like Syrians, they want to help them out of sudden. I mean, maybe they are feeding them and taking care of them right now, in order to blackmail them in the future. They would tell them, "We saved you from war and from death. We gave you food for free. We gave you money.
You owe us.
So you owe us. You gotta work like donkeys for us."
No, that sounds like something they do in the United States here. Let me think about that. I don't know. No, okay. Let me just say this, Mahmoud. Maybe because I
Yeah.
think this is more likely. A lot of the European countries, they have this guilt trip. Okay, over, country like Germany. Obviously, Germany is still paying for World War II. They're totally have this guilt thing going on, and the governments are feeding this to the people too. This whole guilt trip, and then when they had the little boy wash up on the shore, and of course, the media manipulated that to try to make everyone feel sad and guilty. Automatically, a lot of people opened their hearts and they wanted to do everything they could, and then they were taken advantage of. And this is the problem with people who are pure of intention, is that we get taken advantage of really easily by these people who know that you can play people like that, right? The
Yeah.
givers always are easy to be played, because all you got to do is give them somebody that's hard up, and they're gonna do what they can to help that person, and then they've got their opportunity to stick it to them. So, well, what do you think? I mean, do you think? Well, first of all, what's going on in Kusaya? First of all, what's the latest?
Nothing changed. It's the same.
Same siege, still surrounded.
Yeah. I guess that we surpassed 100 days, which is a great record. I'm so proud.
Okay, let me tell you something. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now, as you know, we have a lot of listeners, and they're not just people in America and what have you. We'd also have people in Syria listening. And I talked to this guy, and he friended me on Facebook, and he was a big supporter of the national defense. Okay. Now, he was all ticked off because I'm not violently ticked off, but I mean he took offense to what you were saying last time about bad mouthing national defense guys. And I explained to him. I said, hey, they're under this thing, blah blah blah. It's going on. These a lot of these guys are rude, bad apples, whatever. But deal with it. And he wanted to come on and challenge you, give you a hard time. But it's like the radio's open. I mean, people can call in if you really wanted to call in. He could do that. But at the same time, you have to be calm about it. You can't just get emotional. His response to you mainly was that if you didn't like it, that you should join the army or whatever and go fight for your country. Now, obviously, I don't agree with that. I think that you have the right not to do that. But anyway, but at the same time, I think that I just want the national defense guys listening to understand that we know that you're trying to do what you can to defend Syria, and that there's only so many soldiers, and that what have you. But God willing, you'll be able to give your guns back and go back to doing whatever you're doing real soon, and everything will be normal again with the help of Russia. What do you think about that, Mahmoud?
Well, I gotta ask you, what did he say? He wanted me to join and fight?
Yeah, he thought. Well, he didn't say you should join the national defense, but he thought that if you're really upset about what's going on, that you should try to join the Syrian army or something like that. Yeah, that's what he thought. And I thought, well, you're a student, It's a bit, yeah.
Well, in a way, it doesn't make sense. I mean, I am saying that the siege has been too long, that it has to be unimposed. I mean, what does why?
I know it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm talking from the east, and he's talking from the west.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a student. I mean, I'm fighting for my country on my own way. Everyone is doing their job.
You're right. You're right. No, you are. You're fighting. You're fighting right now. You're on the radio fighting for your country right now.
Yeah.
All right. And all right. No, we all know that. Okay. But so no offense. I just wanted to, give you that information, pass that on, and if he's listening, he can know that we.
And by the way, the Syrian law of the army doesn't allow me to go to army.
Why? Because
I am an only child. I have no brothers and sisters. If you are an only child, you don't go to army. That's you can check that in the law if he's if he's even suspicious about that, if he doesn't even know about the army rules,
Okay,
should go
okay,
check it.
okay. Calm down, calm down.
I'm calm.
Commentate. Jeez, I don't. All right, that was a bad attempt at Spanish right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. All right. Let's see, what time is it? 7:31. Wow. Hey, Terry, what's going on with Gabby? Is he green even?
He's not green yet. And then I also try to see if I can contact him through Facebook. So I sent him a Facebook message. So
He's probably asleep or
yeah, it's
got no power or something.
uh,
All right, but that's okay. We got Mahmood here.
I'll keep on it.
Yeah, because I know he had a lot to say. But all right, Mahmood, let's just. All right, what's going on with Modar? All right, he's just what? You say he's moving to Damascus? He's getting out of Kutsaya? What's going on?
Well, he has a situation. He cannot go like that because some issues. I cannot talk. He's fine and everything, but there might be a misunderstanding if he goes like that. To the checkpoint.
Oh, gosh. Well, that's sounds.
He needs to renew his army papers and everything, but he can't. If he tells the soldiers, they won't understand him. It's something he has to do in there,
So he's not
the
an
army
only
unit.
child, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Modar's not an only child.
Yeah, he's technically still a student, and he deserves to get a delay. If he's studying, he can delay his going to the army. Everyone goes to the army except you're an only child or a student. If you're a student, you tell the army that I have to delay my army joining because I'm studying. So when he went there to the army unit, he told them he brought them everything, but the employee there he actually damaged hundreds of students' future because they went there and they all deserve a delay, but because he was lazy and something, he kept delaying to work on these papers. So the deadline of renewing your papers is over. So it's all because of the employee, but no one gives a damn. So everyone believes that employee and doesn't believe the other guys. They went there and told them what happened with our papers. He said they're not ready yet. They are not ready yet. They told him, come on, you gotta finish them before it's the deadline. The deadline is so close. So after the deadline is, after it has become deadline, so they all have to go to army. They still have their universities waiting for them. So it's kind of complicated. So it's all because of one employee's mistake. Hundreds of Syrian students, some of them have left the country, and some of them are trapped in some place. If they go to any checkpoint, they will go to the army, but it's their right to study first and then go to the army. Does that make any sense? Did I get my message?
No, it's yeah. Nobody's arguing that, certainly. I'm sorry. Did Gabby join us here? Looks like he's here. Yeah.
Yes, he's here.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Pardon me, just a second, Mahmoud. I just want to say hi to Gabby. Good morning, Gabby.
Good morning. I'm so sorry.
Good morning, sunshine.
Thank you. Good morning. So,
all right.
I just woke up.
We figured. Did you get some coffee yet?
No, I just woke up to find that I'm very late. So I just opened.
Well, relax. Okay, listen. Go ahead and get your coffee if you need to. real quick.
I just want to ask you how much time that has been passed, or
Oh, we're only 34 minutes into the show, so don't worry about it. You're okay.
oh,
Not a
oh,
problem.
okay,
Seriously, go get your coffee. I know you need to do that.
okay,
All right, we'll be okay. Go for it. Sorry,
fine.
guys. Anyway, um, isn't it wonderful that we can be so casual on internet radio? It's like, you know. Anyway, last show. Hey, Mahmood, just a question by any chance. Did you by any chance friend that person, the last person I had last week, Afra? I sent you a link? Did you by any chance hook up to her?
Yeah, well, she added me, not
She
I
added you,
did
huh?
that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I told her to, so Anyway, well, I mean, she's sort of like part of the gang now as far as the what we're doing here. So I thought you guys should connect. But
Yeah.
anyway, just want to get your opinion on her. I know you're all focused on the girl that's in Macedonia right now, but anyway. Huh? Come on, Mahmood, say something.
What? What do I say?
Yes, be honest. Go ahead. No? All right. You're so polite, I swear. All right. Don't have to. Sorry for putting you on the spot. Anyway, okay, guys. All right, now let's see here. It looked like we have a calling number, and we're going to need to find out whether or not this works. All right, I'm a little bit confused here. All right, now, Terry, do I understand it that this number that I have here, this is our standard station number, and it's up
Yes,
to
it
900?
is. And it probably it won't work unless for some reason the calls were still
Right.
accidentally
Do you have an
forwarded.
alternative? Do you have an alternative?
No, I don't, unfortunately, tonight.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I guess we're probably not going to get calls, but hey.
They can Skype us though if they want to add Freedom of Joyce, or if somebody's on Skype, they can come in that way.
All right. Well, go ahead and pass that on to the chat room.
I will.
And if there's anyone in the chat room that can hook us up with a conventional phone number, that would be nice too. All right. Now, Mahmood, you look like you were starting to gain a little bit of weight back, since Ramadan and all that. But with this siege going on continuously, what's your diet is still pretty screwed up?
It's not like screwed up. I'm playing football, so I'm not. The weight I gain, I use it in my advantage, and I do sports, so I build muscles now.
Okay. All right. But you're getting enough protein and all that, huh? Because I know the last time.
Yeah.
Well, you're just.
I actually eat fried eggs every 2 days. I mean, I'm getting enough protein.
You have a chicken? You have a chicken nearby or what?
Well, we bring it from outside, from Damascus, and there is this very nice checkpoint. It's called, the Republican Guard checkpoint. They allow people to bring whatever they want. I hope that all checkpoints are nice like them.
Well, I'll tell you, one of these days, you gotta get a couple chickens, maybe. Smuggle in a couple chickens. One chicken is good for a couple eggs a day, almost. Huh? If you can do that, highly recommend.
Well, I don't eat. I'm not used to eating chicken with eggs.
No, you don't have to eat the chicken. Just eat the eggs. Come on. The chicken's a pet. Yeah. Keep the chicken as a pet. You like pet animals?
Yeah.
Come on. Anyway. No, seriously, I had a chicken for a long time, and I, it would want to come in the house and walk around. It was a pet, but of course they're messy, but yeah, up to 1-2 eggs a day. So a couple of chickens will keep you in eggs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably. But, I tried once, not once, twice. I I tried to raise baby chickens and let them grow, but they died, unfortunately.
Those ones that you get in the market like that, they never survive. It's very, very difficult.
Yeah,
Uh,
and not only that, but because I don't have a farm, I don't have a yard, I keep them in my flat, so it's hard for them to adapt.
well, I mean, if you're serious about it, you have to have a light bulb or something to keep them warm. But do a little research. It can be done. Seriously, it can be done. I know uh,
Yeah.
people raise pigeons and squabs. I know, in a tiny apartment setting dwelling too. So I know you can do it if you really want to, but not trying to turn your apartment into a farm or anything. But
Yeah.
you know, anyway.
I mean,
Okay,
the baby chickens already gave me enough in the past. They didn't let me sleep.
really?
You
They go
know,
cheep cheep
they
cheep 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 all night.
yeah, right. I mean, almost like in this very hour, they would start making these sounds so that
Yeah.
they are awake and they want to play. But come on, guys, I want to sleep. I don't want to play with
Uh,
you. I mean, come on.
they're probably. Did you have a light bulb or something to keep them warm? They probably were cold. They're going. I'm cold, Mahmoud. I'm cold. You think? You think? Wake
Well,
up.
I put them in this box and put something warm underneath them.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, seriously, just for your information in the future, you really need a light bulb with like a reflector or something kind of close. Maybe
Yeah,
a foot away, something like that. And because the heat, it's like the sun. Okay, it's radiant. You understand? It's like
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's not just the warmth; it's the radiation. They have to. That's what they need. So it's life giving. Anyway, next time. All right.
When I get a farm.
Yeah, animal killer. See how you are. All right, Gabby, are you back yet? Did you get your coffee? Are you there?
Oh, Gabby and coffee. Come on.
Gabby, come
Every
on.
time.
Yeah, it's probably
Come on.
takes forever, but
I
I know
mean, I
he'll
mean,
be better when he gets his coffee. That's why I want to give him time to do
uh,
this.
come on. You can survive without coffee one day in a week.
He has to
It's
wake
not.
up. He's
Yeah.
probably listening to us. He's probably over there spilling his coffee because he's trying to hurry.
He will burn his tongue.
It's like ah. Anyway, okay. All right. Now, because you guys are in siege and all that, you don't really see any activity. I mean, you see any Russian jets flying over or anything like that?
Well, no, not in Kutsaya and the other town, Hame. You
Yeah.
know, because these two towns are under the reconciliation, so there are negotiations every couple of days between the there's this sheikh in Kutsaya.
He's an elder,
You know
elder sheikh. Yeah.
yeah, he's the elder. He always gathers. He had a very major role in convincing the Free Army not soldiers, fighters, to surrender their weapons and get amnesty. He has a very major role in that. So he gathers with the Free Army fighters, and he gathers with the Syrian army sergeants. So he always tries to combine both on common a common idea on.
Well, I remember you were trying to tell us that there wasn't that many of these fighters there, and then
Yeah.
and then turns out there's like 2,500 or some ridiculous amount. I mean,
No, not 2,500.
how many? 250? I mean, didn't you say like almost 25 brigades or something like that? Huh?
They were okay. They were probably 300 or 400 in both towns.
Uh-huh.
But there are a tiny group that they didn't want to get amnesty because they said we don't negotiate with the regime, as they say. So they were asked by the army sergeants through this sheikh. They told him to convince these guys to leave Qudsaya so that the siege will be unimposed. But I don't know what's taken too long. Nobody knows what's happening. There are some pages about Qudsaya on Facebook. We always check them out every day. We check out the latest news, but we used to know things every day, but now we don't know what's happening. We don't know anything. No one is posting anything. But there is this page which is close to the reconciliation committee. They say that things will be better. There are, five conditions left to open the road. If they only succeed in, if they succeed in one condition only, the roads will be open again and everything will be back to normal. But I don't know. Nobody even knows why it's taken too long and what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, this has been going on for a while, but at the same time, I don't think that myself or the listeners, I don't think we ever really appreciated how much you kind of represent that other side. I mean, whether you like it or not, whether you like it or not, you're kind of like the guy that's that can kind of give us the perspective of the FSA and those people.
Oh, no, not that.
No, I'm not trying to say that you have anything to do with them or anything like that, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that because you're living under siege, so it kind of
Yeah.
puts you on a different vantage point than.
Yeah. Well, let me just clarify some points. I am totally with bringing back all the Syrians under one, under one. How do you say that? Under one purpose, like
family.
What's that?
Umbrella.
Umbrella.
Yeah,
That's
umbrella.
umbrella. How about family?
Yeah.
Family sounds better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and make all the ones who joined the opposition, if they come back to Syrian government, it would be fine with me. It's like some people prefer the death sentence on criminals, but I don't prefer that. It's kind of like this. I always go for the peaceful solution. I don't like violent solutions. Like okay, if you're against me, I kill you. No, if you're against me, let's talk and find a common background that we can stand on. And I'm only okay with the Syrians coming back, but the ones who came from outside, from Saudi Arabia, from Turkey, from God knows what other countries. Yeah, I mean, these guys who are with Nusra and ISIS, I don't want them to go back. I'll make an exception and I will say kill these
No. Okay, come on now.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Hey. Guys. Listen.
I almost
hang
said
on.
a bad word.
We're you're okay. All right. We're gonna have our break here in a little less than 10 minutes, and so I just want to say one thing real quick because it's sort of kind of political, but I'm going to address this to both of you guys. But now Assad, of course, and the Syrian army, because of the work of Russia, have certainly strengthened their position. And I think that all those people that are saying Assad must go, they've pretty much they've lost it. And yet, at the same time, the Russians are, they've got this stupid thing going on in Vienna. They're reaching out to the FSA guys. They're trying to make it look like they're being, compromising with the opposition. And they're still acting like, there's going to be elections and all this. Now, me personally, I think Assad's going nowhere. He has no reason to go anywhere. The rest of the world should shut up and let the Syrian people vote and decide who they want. But do you think that all that is a big farce, this whole business with them trying to set up some sort of a power-sharing arrangement with the opposition? What do you think? Gabby, you go first. What do you think?
Um, of course, everything is happening as fast, completely.
Uh-huh.
And actually, I did not uh, get your question rightly.
Well, do you think that do you think like when Assad seems to work with the Russians and they act like they're trying to set up some sort of transition or some sort of coalition with the opposition? I don't. I think politically speaking, I don't think Assad is really going to change anything. But it seems like he is making the effort publicly. What do you guys think?
I think that they are trying to preserve their own face water or something. Doing anything that makes the situation be against the idea of Assad has succeeded. Anything, they are ready to do anything. Even if tomorrow you find, for instance, everyone is just turning around and changing their discourse, and they will delete all the 5 years past and say that we did not say anything about that, so Assad must stay. I'm not going to be, I don't think that it will be weird, actually, because we got accustomed to their behaviors, those politicians of the
Yeah,
West.
they're all liars. They'll say one
Yeah,
thing today and something else tomorrow.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
And since the whole struggle is about this oil pipeline or something,
Right.
they are going to find something else to build that pipeline.
And the Golan. What about the Golan?
The Golan, I don't see its liberty in the coming years. I know that anything that has been taken by force will never be back, but by force.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's all right. Well, let's. I want to discuss that more, but first, Mahmoud, what do you think about this whole election thing? I mean, from your perspective in the Kusaya, what do you think? Do you think that that Assad has to make any effort at all to compromise with the opposition?
Mm, well, can you make that a little bit simpler?
Well, okay. Let me. I'm sorry. Uh, do you think that nothing will change, and that all of this talk with in public with Russia and with Assad that somehow they're going to work with the opposition? Do you think that's not none of that is real? That all everything will stay the same?
Um, Sorry, I still didn't get it, man.
Okay, hang on a second.
Because your
Okay,
question is very deep,
Gabby.
Stephen.
First of
It's
all,
very deep.
we're getting some little feedback from you, Gabby. A little some maybe a little wire loose or something like that. Okay, I'm sorry, Mahmoud.
I mean,
Uh,
you want me to answer you if anything
okay, let me. I know I
will
can make
change?
this really simple. Do you
Yeah.
think Assad needs to change anything?
Uh, well, not everything.
Uh-huh.
You
Do you
know,
think?
maybe there should be a talk or a conversation between opposition and the government, for instance.
Well, they say they're doing that though, but do you think it's real? Do you think they really care? Do you think something will happen, or do you think they're just doing that for us to see?
No, I hope and I believe that it is happening.
Okay. See, that's my question: is
Yeah.
if you think Assad will really change anything, or is he just putting
You
on a
know,
show?
to be honest with you, like since
Oh, there's our
oh
break,
come
guys.
on,
Oh, we get to hear that music. We get to hear my music. Okay. All right, you guys, stay with that. Don't forget. Okay, Gabby, Mahmoud, mute your microphone. Everybody, we'll be back in 5 minutes with the Stephen Kelley Show.
And now we return you to your host.
That's so undignified, huh? I can do that though. Haha, because it's my show, huh? And this is the Stephen D. Kelley Show. I'm sorry, let me do that again. That was not very professional. This is the Stephen D. Kelley Show. Thank you very much. And I am your host, Stephen D. Kelley. Thank you very much. You're listening to Revolution Radio, www.freedomslips.com. We are the #1 listener-supported radio station out there. And we do depend on your support, so please help us out. Good little button that says donate on the left side of the screen. www.freedomslips.com. That's how you help us. All righty. We're back with Mahmoud and Gabby during the break. Mahmoud was all frustrated because he got cut off right with the music. It's like, don't worry, Mahmoud, I'll let you talk. Just don't forget your thought. But seriously, though, Gabby, though, has got a lot of talking to do because I know, Gabby, you were like all upset the other day and you had, as you said, a dozen things you wanted to say. So we have to get to that. All right. Let me see. Before you do that, again, I want to remind everybody to join the Facebook page, the Revolution Radio Facebook page, also my Facebook page, Stephen D. Kelley Facebook page, and the show, the Stephen D. Kelley Show, has a Facebook page if you want to help me out donation-wise. My Gmail, or I'm sorry, it's PayPal is Stephen Kelley, STEVENKELLEY 714@gmail.com. Thank you, Stephen Kelley 714@gmail.com. All right, you guys, I'm sorry about that. All right, Mahmoud, go for it. Where were you right when we got cut off?
Yeah, I was talking that. Look at Kutsaya. You never see opposition and the government talk together and negotiate like this in Kutsaya. Free Syrian army in Kutsaya and the Syrian army in, surrounding Kutsaya, they are already negotiating together. Isn't that, what we talked about? That we are seeing some talks between the government and the opposition. This is one.
Yeah, that's right. Everything that you've said has been totally right on, except for the numbers have been a little bit less. But yeah, when you say that these guys are giving up, in fact, the information that we got from you is always like ahead of the information that we hear on the internet. So thank you for that. But yeah, I remember the last time you said these guys were giving up and we were trying to monitor the situation of getting the siege lifted, that everything that's happening to you directly is almost a microcosm of what's happening to so many people in the whole country. So yeah, that's a great perspective. And one thing I should say real quick here, and because this is an important thing that we brought up at the last show and we keep bringing up at the different shows, and I just want to remind, it's not really totally connected to what we're saying, but it's an idea that we need to get everybody listening, and hopefully you guys will help me with this. But we need to get the embargo lifted. And of course, the European countries, I think, are starting to get in line, but everybody is pretty much stuck to it. Naturally, Russia is certainly going to have a big role in the rebuilding, and there's a few European countries that want to get in behind that, and certainly Russia is going to get the preferential treatment. And this is not about making money. This is about getting products to the people so that they can buy simple stuff. Like Afra could buy her makeup, and and Mahmoud, you can get a proper light bulb to keep your chickens warm, and stuff like that. I mean, right? So, I'm serious, but that's the thing, is that one of the biggest steps that we have to do to get everything normalized, aside from beating all these bastard terrorists, is that the rest of the world has to stop treating Syria like it's the problem and get this embargo lifted. I do want to talk about Golan.
Let me just bring one idea about this embargo. Do you mean like the sanctions by the world governments?
All that
Sanctions
stuff.
on Syria?
All
Yeah,
that.
because of that, people are leaving Syria because normally in Syria 5 years ago, when everything was right, we had everything. As a matter of fact, people from Jordan and Lebanon, they used to come and buy food from Syria because food was all there and it was cheaper than Jordan and Lebanon, and no one even thought about leaving Syria. In fact, tourists were coming to Syria, and some uh, foreign people they were living in Syria. But after the war, they all left, and even the Syrians, the way they were living, it has changed. It has become harder for them. So it made them leave, and with the sanctions, there are no many countries, maybe only Lebanon, Algeria, that you know they you know they consider the Syrian government. They consider it legit. Only Algeria and Lebanon, as I believe. So all these people live in Syria. They live by Lebanon or Algeria, and when they go to other countries that don't consider our government legit, they treat Syrians in a bad way because uh, they don't you know what I mean, like
Yeah. They abuse them. They persecute them. Yeah.
yeah, because they say, oh, you are Syrian, your president is Bashar al-Assad, we're gonna treat you bad because we hate you Syrians and everything, you are terrorists. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well. Anyway. Yeah. Well, that's got to change. Obviously, the rest of the world has got to. I'm sure the same thing happened to people in Iraq and Afghanistan too. But I don't know. You probably have been getting it for a long time. All right. You guys, Gabby, you want to talk about what you've got going on? You guys want to can we talk about the Golan first? What do you want to do?
Yeah, actually, I told you that I can't see anything changing in Golan without a war. That is a fact. Because a cancer, when captures some kind of rock, will never leave it until you, unfortunately, get rid of their uh, their hands, the hands of the crab. I don't remember it. Yeah, anyway, so the talks or peace talks with Israel are always heading to a dead end, and that is a fact actually. And as
All right.
for
Well, what about Russia? Okay, now Putin's not stupid, and he's very shrewd, and he keeps his cards close to his chest. I personally think that Putin is going to liberate the Golan, and I think that the fact that areas are getting liberated right now, it certainly shows that this is happening. And I think that as long as Russia's there keeping Israel from going in there and flying the jets, I think that they will be able to recapture this territory. But I don't know. Israel's trying, of course, says that it's all about the Druze, okay, and they're trying to protect the Druze. And certainly, there's a contingent of this Druze population that's very pro-Israel. So, what about those people?
yeah, those people are steady and they are we can count on them actually. They are great people. Uh, I hope that Putin could do anything about Golan, and I'm saying it with some reserves because this is our land after all, and it's our responsibility to get it back, not to depend on others to make that happen. But any thing that is for the good of people is welcome.
Uh-huh.
And of course,
Well, yeah. Now there's oil and all this, but I guess the big issue, of course, is that it's that border, and Israel, of course, doesn't want to have any kind of army. They think that I guess they think that they're going to have to pay for their crimes. you, because I gotta tell you, they liberate the Golan. What's next? They're going to want to liberate the West Bank. What do you think?
yeah, at least to force Israel to go back to the borders of 1967, as the United Nations actually charter built for that purpose. But Israel always made it very successfully to escape and evade any acquisition or any resolution of the United Nations, uh, because it is not only West Bank and Gaza, Palestinian lands. You have a lot of other territories that are Palestinians.
Are you talking about the land that Turkey took up north?
I'm talking about Palestine itself.
Uh,
Of course, Stephen, you did not born yesterday. You know that Israel came in 1948. What state that newly born and just want to control the entire globe? Because it's not only about Palestine or Syria. It's about taking control all over the world by corporations and banks and everything.
yeah, it's a
So if Israel,
Rothschild, Rothschild
yeah,
plot, right?
if Israel did not find any one to stop her, it will devour the entire globe, actually.
Well, it pretty much has, but it's all done from behind the scenes.
Yeah,
You know,
Can I
Mahmoud.
add something about
Yes,
Israel?
yes, you may.
You know, uh, to be honest, you can see its end is near, because when you do all this terror to Palestinians, it shows that you are so scared, so terrified that you might lose what you have, and if you don't prove your point to be that you are the stronger,
Ruthless.
people will. Yeah, if they are being ruthless because they are afraid of losing the occupied land of Palestine. So, I mean, every now and then we hear a story about Israeli forces are capturing people for stabbing attempts. Seriously, I mean, what the
Capturing?
hell?
You mean executing, right? All
Yeah,
right.
capturing then
Let me
executing.
let me just paraphrase what Mahmoud is talking about here, real quick, Mahmoud. Then I'll give it back to you. But as we know, a lot of people are being shot right now, especially young people. There is demonstrations going on, but what these guys are doing is they are arbitrarily shooting Palestinians. You see these young women standing at the bus stop, or just some guy that happens to be walking by, and of course, a lot of this is very settler instigated, and the settlers are a major problem right now. And of course, the settlers are taking over the government, and that is this. The settlers are to Israel what the Bandera Nazis are to the Ukraine. If you want to understand the politics of Israel and what's running the politics of Israel, look at the Ukraine and look at the Banderites from the west of the country. They're they pretty much have taken over and control and turned the whole country Nazi. This is sort of what the settlers are doing. And yes, like what Mahmoud is saying is that yes, they are executing these people in the street for nothing. They're just standing there and they shoot them, and then they put a knife next to the
yeah.
body and take a picture of it.
You know. Don't be surprised in the future if you see an Israeli guy steps on a banana skin and falls on the ground, and he sees a Palestinian guy, even
Through
a
the yeah,
kid. Yeah, he says, "Oh, you put that so you can stab me. I'm gonna kill you."
yeah.
Come on.
They don't even do that anymore. Come on, that girl trying to get on a bus, right? She's
Yeah,
in a bus station. She's nobody near her, and she's holding sunglasses in her hand.
Yeah.
right?
You can stab someone with sunglasses,
Well,
according to them.
she was in the shade, right? So she probably took her sunglasses off when she stepped into the shade, and they're like, oh no, she has something in her hand. And next thing you know, you got 5, 10 guys pointing guns at her, and they all shoot. What the hell? Okay, that girl actually survived. I'm happy to say she's still alive. Still, look at how many they're shooting right now. And you know something else? The knives that they have, they're all the same. It's like somebody bought a big box of these things, and they have them ready. They
Yeah.
passed them out to all the police, and they said, "Here, take a few of these. Hang on to them, right? Give them all to your settler
Or
buddies." Yeah.
if
We got
anything
to,
happens, just
yeah,
blame it on the knife.
yeah, 5 shekels. Yeah, cheap. Yeah, whatever. All right. Anyway, sorry, I had to say that. Gabby, did you want to say something?
I just don't understand how Obama and the U.S. government they obey Israel as if it's their mom.
They have no
Come on.
choice. They're bought and paid for. They're owned. All right, look at it this way. First of all, Mahmoud, we talk about the Rothschilds, like you talk about Gabby, and the control, and we know it's not just Israel. We know that the people behind Israel, the people that made Israel, are the Rothschilds, and they have all the money in the world, and they control all these Western governments.
Yeah,
And it's like they have to fall. What Putin's doing right now isn't just a war against ISIS. This is a war against the Rothschilds, the New World Order, and ultimately this is a war against Satan, if you ask me, because that's
it
that's
is.
that's what Israel is. It's the bastion of Satan on earth, and anybody that has a brain, all they got to do is look at it, and they can see that. My God, everything they do is satanic.
Yeah.
And
If you look at the whole world is suffering except for Israel because they provoke people on each other and they just sit and watch with popcorn. They
yeah,
say, "Oh, this is funny."
oh no, they're victims. Come on, they're victims, right?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, they're
And
victims. Yeah.
an old Arab saying goes like this: if you feed the mouth, the eye will turn shy. And it's true about the Rothschild. They feed their mouths, so they can't say any word about their behavior around the world.
Well, they have dirt on them too, right? They do. They get these guys like in England. Look at Cameron, and look at all the people
Yeah,
from in the English. They're all pedophiles. They do this on purpose. So if they ever try to do the right thing, they'll expose them to the public for the monsters that they are.
yeah. And what a coincidence! Such elitists are accusing our president Bashar Assad to be cruel and war criminal. And oh my God, indeed, that he is so cruel.
Yeah, I know. Pot calling the kettle black, and then we have people like Hillary Clinton, who's actually had people killed. She's like everybody knows she's a criminal. She should be in jail many, many times, and yet she's running for president. It's crazy. Yeah, it's just crazy. And like you say, Mahmoud, Obama won't say anything because he's crazy too, and he's a criminal too. And they know that if one criminal steps out of line, they will cut their head off. Each one of them has a knife to the other one's throat.
You know,
Speaking about Obama, did you hear of something last week that Obama met with Mr. Kim Jong Un, the president of North Korea, something like that, in
Is that
a
true?
closed meeting?
I
Did
don't
you
know
guys?
about that.
Because in the Arab media they did that. They put, as a breaking that Obama is meeting with Kim and they are talking in a closed meeting. I searched the Korean media and I found out that that was not true at all
Yeah, no
because
way.
Obama met with the president of South Korea, Mrs. Park, and she went to the White House. And they talked about, of course, the necessity of North Korea to give up its nuclear program and blah blah blah, etc. But I wonder these uh, some of our medias, not Syrian, of course, they are like NBC. It is Talatok for Saudi Arabia. Uh, they just want to put Obama in a position that does not his simply.
They always do that, right?
No. By lies, that kind of lies kills me actually.
It's confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very confusing. Yeah.
I need to say something.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
this is to Obama supporters. I mean, have they ever heard of this technique of backmasking? That you say something, and if you play it backwards, it conveys a certain message. What about Obama's motto in his campaign? Yes, we can. If you play back that thing, it will appear. It will be heard as "Thank you, Satan."
Really?
So
Yes, we
yeah,
can. Thank you.
yeah.
Oh my
You
gosh! I
gotta-
gotta try that now. Oh
Yeah.
dear.
You never heard of it?
No. Oh my gosh.
They use it. They use it in music. You know,
Terry,
this,
had you hear that? Did you hear that, Terry?
I'm sorry. What'd you say, honey?
You're not paying attention. Mahmoud here just said that Obama's "Yes We Can" slogan, if you play it backwards, is "Thank you, Satan."
Oh my God! Really?
I've got to do
Yeah.
that now. We
and
have to.
and look,
We're gonna have
there
to
is
play it backwards.
yeah, there is this song. It's called "Stairway to Heaven."
Well, yeah. We
Yeah,
and,
if
and
you
well,
if
the
you
Beatles
play
too.
that, backwards,
The Beatles
if
too.
you play that backwards, you know, you will hear something like because I'm in love with Satan and 666. So
Well,
they
dude,
use this technique
dude.
to
In the '60s, they did it. The Beatles did it to say "Turn Me On, Dead Man" because Paul died.
I have to admit, I have
Yeah,
a friend of mine is here. We're talking about movie projects, and I was going to have a little business meeting, and then I had to have them come over here. So
So what are they, experts in backward masking or something, or what?
no, I'm multitasking during the show.
Okay. Go back to that.
I apologize. I'm
Go ahead.
I'm here and there at the
Go
same
ahead.
time.
Go ahead. Get back to work.
okay. There is a song by Katy Perry. It's Dark Horse. You know that song? It's by Katy
No, I would
Perry.
not. I would not admit to knowing that song. Please, Mahmoud, come on.
Look, just
That's like that movie you're talking about. Oh, come on! It's that movie where they make fun of Kim Jong Il, where they say that he's a big fan of Katy Perry. You see that movie?
I don't know.
No, come on. It's called The Interview.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's-
Yeah, so in this song of Katy Perry, Dark Horse,
Yeah.
all the symbols, they are all offensive to Arabs and Muslims. If you
Really?
play it backwards, also, yeah, you know, you gotta check it on YouTube. It's in backwards. Maybe I'll send you a video. Maybe you can share
Well,
it.
why don't you create something for Facebook and post it, and I'll share that. That's actually very interesting. But no, Katy Perry certainly is one of the more famous. She's kind of satanic, yeah.
Yeah,
She's
she admitted. She said that she sold her soul to the devil.
Yeah.
What more do you need?
Yeah. There's a lot of them out there that do that, certainly.
Yeah.
And I think you guys all know how I feel about that. I'm not a fan. Don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm publicly. If you're even slightly Luciferian, I can't have anything to do with you. So, yeah, obviously that's not cool. Anyway, all right. Wow, Gabby, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I just want to say how much I'm grieved and sad for the Russian plane that fell on Sinai.
That's a good. It's a good topic. Glad for bringing that up.
And that actually made us all cry. My God, children, women, elderly, they all just gone. And of course, I'm pretty sure that this plane was not due to a malfunction, as they are saying, that caused this tragedy. I almost sure that Israel and Saudi Arabia are behind it because they hate what Russia is doing now, and they are trying to get vengeance over them.
You know, Gabby, it was only just a couple days ago that John McCain was was
Yeah.
was saying that they wanted this to happen, and they were saying that they were actually plotting uh, with these. In fact, the Ukrainians were actually involved in this, believe it or not. But yeah, and Russia certainly doesn't want to suggest that it was indeed taken down by a missile or a bomb on board, although the ISIS people operating in the Sinai have been known to have a very old anti-aircraft missile capable of doing that. Uh, and the other thing is that Russia, even though they will not publicly say that this was actually destroyed as a result of war, they've increased their bombing campaigns, and from what I've heard, they're using a little more heavier explosive right
Yeah.
now. So yeah, they're getting their vengeance, but they're being very quiet about it. Well, they're not being
Yeah.
quiet. The bombs are very loud, of course, but you know what I'm saying.
But truths are going to surface up soon.
Uh, I don't think it's going to be very long for ISIS. Uh, I think that, as you guys, there's this internal stuff is going to go away pretty soon. I think, and that means Mahmoud. I think your guys' stuff has got to clear up too. Obviously, if all the external ISIS and everything has gone away, whoever's holed up in town that's still trying to be opposition, they're going to have to get with the program, or the Russians or Iranians or Hezbollah is going to probably go in there and take them out. Um, but ultimately things are going to get better. And then the only problem is going to be if Syria gets, I mean, I'm sorry, if Israel gets involved, or the United States, of course, they're now saying they want to send in troops. But what the hell is that? That's just a human shield, right? At,
Yeah.
at the same time, they send those guys in there, they complain that they're going to be in danger. But that's the whole idea of putting them in there, so that they will be in danger. So,
And they are here now, by the way.
oh yeah,
The 50 troops,
probably a lot more.
Americans,
Probably a lot
they
more
are,
than 50. Yeah.
yeah, they are here. And U.S. Administration refused to give their position deploy. Where did they deploy?
Mhm.
I don't know why this jeopardy, and it's over. How
Well,
many times do they have to smash their heads into the wall?
you know
How
what these
many
guys are
times?
going to do? If I'll tell you something, I'll tell you what these guys are going to probably do. These special forces guys are probably going to try as hard as they can to execute high-ranking Russians or high-ranking Iranians or Hezbollah and what have you. I think that's what they're going to do. Like you see those Iranian generals, there was a couple of high-ranking Iranian generals that died recently.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's probably what they're going to try to do. They'll probably strike at their leadership. Hmm.
I don't know, but we here in this region, no matter how beaten we get, we are getting stronger. We learn. This is the point, the most important point that they miss there in the White House. That they deal with us as if we are robots
Hmm.
and shoot them, kill them, decapitate them, etc. They forget about others surrounding those martyrs who are learning to avoid such deaths and being killed. And we are getting stronger, and there are a lot of analysts who predicted that the Syrian army, especially the Syrian army, is going to be the most powerful army in the whole region in the Arab world because of this opportunity to be trained under these circumstances, hard circumstances actually. So they are one way or another serving us, giving us a favor actually.
A trial by fire. Well,
Yeah,
if you look at the Syrian army, almost half of the soldiers, when this started, have died, and so many of them have gone through hell. Having their heads cut off and things like that. And so you're right. These guys that are left, these guys are athletes. And I'll tell you something. I've seen footage where a tank crew, driving an old Russian tank, came into a plaza or something like that, and there was guys in the windows with RPGs, and they were so fast. I mean, they targeted those guys. It was like who could pull the trigger first. And you're inside a tank, right? And you're trying to get that gun aimed at that little window before that guy pointing that RPG at your tank could pull his trigger. I mean, they're good. They're
yeah,
good. Yeah, they're good. They got some skill, and that's the difference. You're right. And the other thing is they're tough as hell. I mean, my God, their compadres, their comrades, their fellow soldiers that they would kill for and die for are getting their heads cut off. How much tougher could you get? And they're still fighting, right? I mean, my God, what's left? What's left? Yeah, you're right. They're going to be the toughest guys on the planet after this. And then when you put the SS-300 missiles behind them so that they can't get overwhelmed by airplanes, yeah. Obviously, I'm not suggesting that the Syrian army is going to conquer Israel or anything like that, but I'll tell you one thing. The soldiers in Israel and the IDF, they wear diapers. Have you seen that? I'm not kidding.
I know.
They offer, these guys wear adult diapers. And they say, oh, this way, if you're in battle and you have to pee or you can do it and not have to worry about, you can deal with it later. Like you're an astronaut or something. No, no, no. The reality is that these guys pee themselves when the bullets are flying back at them. I've seen footage where you got a bunch of guys laying down, right, because they're under fire, and half of them have wet pants.
Actually,
Stephen, there's a joke about this thing.
Yeah.
Do I say it or not?
Well, I don't know, man. It's like, how bad is it? Jeez. What
No,
are you gonna?
it's not bad.
Oh, well, all right.
It's almost like the Israeli mentality. So
Okay.
there was this gang. There was this gang. They were facing another gang. So the gang, the boss of the gang, he said to his men, "Give me a red shirt, so that if I bleed, the enemies won't notice that. So they will say, oh my God, they are fearless, and
Yeah,
they are strong."
Okay.
So they went to fight this gang, and suddenly they found out that they are not facing one gang, they are facing 100 gangs. So the boss of the gang told his members, okay, why don't you give me my brown pants?
Well, my brown pants now. Okay.
actually, to say the truth, in the war of 1973, when we Syrians could liberate Quneitra from Al Golan Heights and the Egyptians could free Sinai, Golda Meir, the president of the so-called Israeli state, ordered to chain and tie up the pilots in the planes because they refused to go. They were cowards at that time. So she ordered them to be tied up with their planes. Why do you think that they are nowadays creating or manufacturing these drones,
Yeah.
planes without pilots? Because they are afraid to lose any drop of blood of their own. but our blood, unfortunately, is so cheap for them to be spilled around the grounds. And I think that
Now,
I might be able to guess why Israel is doing this in Palestine, especially in Palestine, because Palestinians, especially the Muslims, used to marry more than one woman. They at least marry two women, and they are get along with each other. The two women who are married the same guy, and they just breed by dozens. So I think that Israel is frightened to be occupied by
Of course
the
they are.
same people there living in
Gabby,
Palestine.
let me tell you something, Gabby. All right,
Yeah.
this is a really big deal, but this happened in the United States on the morning of 9/11. Okay, before when I woke up in the morning, before the towers got hit, okay, before any of that happened, I looked at my newspaper that morning, and a cover story on the newspaper was that the Muslim population in the United States has now passed the Jewish population.
Mhm.
That was the cover story on the morning of 9/11.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Uh-huh.
and there is something weird. They know it in Israel. It's something related to genes, something biological in the Jews that they
Yeah,
don't
well,
breed so much. I
we
don't
won't get
know.
into that. That's some kind of weird thing, but let's not get into that. There's, okay, yeah. Next thing you know, we'll be
I
talking about
mean,
the queen being a lizard and all that sort of thing. But let's not do that. But I will say
you know,
this. I just want to say this real quick about the genes, okay? Because you mentioned this. All right, hang on, and then we'll let go of the Israel thing because I don't want to bash them too much tonight. But I personally believe that all of these tribes, okay, if you will, these human tribes that make up the Earth's population, the the tribe that makes up that group, whether religion, gene, whatever, they have a little more psychic gifts. They're gifted more psychically. So ultimately, it was intended for all of these people to mix so that we would all have these same gifts. But that's just one of the weird when you talk about genetic traits. Yeah, obviously we associate a lot of stereotypes and what have you. But one that we should also remember is that they tend to be more psychic. So anyway, let me just give that out there. That's a bone for those people. Sorry, Mahmoud. What were you going to say?
I wanted to say that the reason of why Israelis are so afraid to waste a drop of blood because they are fighting for a false case, whereas we are not afraid to waste all of our blood because we are fighting for the right case.
Well, I could say this if I could put it into a kind of a spiritual universal perspective, I could say that they are service to self, and the Syrian people are service to others. So their sacrifice is for their fellows and for their country, whereas the Israelis, they're just a bunch of greedy bastards, and it's all about them. The universe is divided into those two groups: the selfish and the giving. Okay, and you have some people can be mostly one way or mostly the other. We're all a little bit of each, but some people are just way selfish. Those are the service to self people. That's what Satan's all about. Luciferianism is about service to self. And of course, Jesus certainly represents service to others, and as well as Buddha and Gandhi and many of the other prophets. Okay, guys, sorry about that. What'd you want to say, Gabby?
yeah, I mean, I meant to say, sorry, that no matter what precautions or whatever they do, in Israel, they can't breed well. I don't know whether this expression is obvious, but I mean, you hardly find in a family three persons. So, while in Palestinian families, you could find 15, 21, 25 persons in the same family.
I think that's
So
more cultural, Gabby, because I think if you go back to like Eastern Europe, where a lot of these Khazarian, Jews came from, when they
mhm.
were living in the, the boonies out in the farm, they probably had bigger families than they do now, perhaps. Now they're more urban now, perhaps they don't do it. But what about the settlers? Did the settlers spit out more babies than the average Israeli?
No, I don't think so. This is what I'm saying. There is a disease lied in their veins, something related to biological issue.
Now we're going to have to look into
So,
that now and
and
see if
you
the
would
settlers have.
find a lot of families that have male babies who die before 4 years, sometimes 5 years. Only
Wow,
the male.
that's interesting statistic. You open
I,
up all
I
kinds
got
of things.
I got the name of that disease, and it is actually specialized to the Jewish families. But I forgot the name of this disease.
That's
You can't find Christian or Muslim who are having such virus. I don't know.
repressive genetics, is
I,
what that
I would
is.
I would suppose it's stupidity.
Okay, okay, guys. Okay, come on, that's enough. All right,
No,
all right.
not cursing. I'm not calling names.
All right.
Even in
I
the
want to move
Syrian
on though. I want
doctor.
to try to say something else.
Okay.
I know, Gabby. There was a bunch of other stuff that you were pissed off about. Because I know when I approached you this week, it was the same time that Obama was saying that he was going to put boots on the ground, and I know that kind of pissed me off, and I think you were kind of upset too at the same time. But there was something else going on? I know there was quite a few things that you were upset about. What else have we not talked about yet?
In eastern Ghouta, here in the Damascus countryside, Jaish al-Islam, or the Army of Islam, a front of those terrorists, are having women who are hostages already on the rooftops of the buildings there in cages. They are putting these women in cages in order to prevent Russians and Syrians jets to strike those terrorists.
Wow.
As human shields, they are having these women. And they actually posted these photos, and they are proud of doing that. It's very weird how those cowards are bragging about something which is so shameful. And I don't know, maybe that neither Syrians nor Russians would hit innocents, especially when they are in cages. So that was very sad, actually,
Where
to
is this
see
happening?
in eastern Ghouta, to the east of Damascus, in the countryside of
Uh,
Damascus,
Maybe in Duma.
uh, and Duma. Eastern Ghouta and Duma are very close to each other.
wow.
غوطة الشرقية.
So wow. I'll tell you, a lot of areas are being liberated. I know Aleppo, certainly a lot of area around
Yeah,
Aleppo, and I
yeah.
think
Aleppo is.
Homs, a lot of areas. But what are the
Look what happened.
casualties like?
Look what happened when the Syrian army could force those terrorists from the northern of Aleppo, because
Uh,
they cut off the road between those terrorists and Turkey. So they hit these targets and convoys and etc. So they forced these terrorists to go to the south of Aleppo. Then they entered into some of the villages surrounding Homs, because Homs is to the north of Aleppo, and they are now claiming an Islamic State in Sadad, in a village which is full of Christians. Of course, there are Muslims there, but the majority of the inhabitants in this Sadad or Mahin, this village, are Christians. So they are threatening now to slaughter those Christians. And of course, the Muslims are not going to lie to each other, because they are killing everyone and every living thing here. So now it's hard to to try to understand the strategy that the Syrian army is going to follow. But what is so sad so far that those threats that they are throwing left and right, this ISIS, to massacre the Christians in Sadad and Mahim. But I think that the Russians having this strategy to cut the lines that provides those lines provide the tourists with food and equipment from the outside of Syria. Then they were going to corner them inside of Syria to kill them, to get rid of them all. So I hope that this Sadad village will not be hurt, because it's devastating actually to see another photos and videos posted about killing innocent people.
Well, you know, it's a race against time. I
Yeah,
think you know, the Russians can only do so much from the air, and I know the Syrian army wants to do a lot of things that they have to follow the Russians, and I know that, and I think that the Russians, they have to, when it comes to strategy and military intelligence, I think the Syrian army is going to have to listen to what the Russians say, because I know they were very much wanted to liberate Aleppo in that area before Palmyra, and you know, certain things. So there's sacrifices, but I think that in other words, I think that if these guys, they're not going to be able to stay in one place long enough to do as much damage as they might have done before. You know.
Uh, Now, as for Palmyra, it lies in the heart of Syria, in the core of Syria. So I think that if the Russians started with liberating Palmyra, that will be in vain, because always there will be some new recruitments coming from surrounding occupied territories in Syria.
Well,
So I think this is why they are trying to liberate Raqqa, not Raqqa, there is, yeah, Raqqa and Aleppo first, because
well,
it's,
and Latakia, they had to stabilize Latakia. They had to protect
yeah,
their own position, right? And they had to
yeah.
they had to get up to Aleppo, and they had to cut off the
And at the same
Turkey.
time, Daraa, the south of Syria, which is in borders with Jordan, it is now free, uh,
Yeah.
Daraa.
So yeah,
So
so they're very
as you can
smart where they're
see,
doing it.
yeah, as you can see, they are trying to gather or to cut.
Consolidate. Yeah, they're
The,
consolidating that territory.
yeah, sorry, yeah,
Right, and now that they've secured from the south all the way up north along the
yeah,
coast, they can move. They can go east, and they can go all the way into Iraq, which is what they will do.
yeah. I hope that will give the pleasing results finally. And so that's it.
We don't have a lot of time anyway. We've only got about 10 minutes left. This was a crazy show. You know, I'll tell you, hopefully by the next show, I'll have the station will have its issues squared away and we'll actually start on time and you'll hear my music and everything. But I do want to thank you guys for getting up early and being with us today. And we did get some good information as always. So I hope everybody listening appreciates what's going on here. Thank you, Terry, for jumping in here at the last minute. And again, everybody, if you can support Revolution Radio, that would be very helpful. Go to the support button on the www.freedomslips.com page. And of course, don't forget to help me out too, Stephen Kelley, 714 gmail.com. Did you guys hear that, or was I too quiet? Sorry. Anyway, yeah. All right. Again, we don't have a lot of time, so real quick, I just want to give both of you a chance just to I know, Gabby, you pretty much said it, whatever it is you want to say. Hopefully the coffee got you through the conversation. But Mahmoud,
Yeah.
what would you like to, final messages? Do you want to shout out to Modar and your girl in Macedonia? Do you have any messages for her?
Well, I hope she gets safe to her destination, and they don't face any hardships. And I don't know. Maybe I should keep it friendly.
Ah, come on, tell her. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. This is
I
love
mean,
line.
come on.
What do you want to tell her? What do you want to tell her,
Yeah,
Mahmoud? You're
maybe
on. You're on love
in
line.
the yeah, maybe in the future, if we were gathered in a certain day in the future, if we were both single, maybe we would marry. I don't know.
There
But
you
for now, let's
go.
keep it.
Listen to this guy. Did you hear that? What's her name? What What's her name again?
Her name is Sarah.
Sarah. Sarah. Mahmoud
Yeah,
wants to marry you if you're listening. In fact, this is going to be on YouTube. So, Sarah,
yeah,
you have to listen.
yeah.
Okay.
I told her this, but
Oh,
eventually she had to leave. So everything was working fine, but it got messed up at the end. And this guy, with this sick mentality, he kicked them out of the house, and they had nowhere else to go. So they said, why not go to Germany and
all right.
live a better life?
Okay. Well, that's you'll get over this, and I know this was pretty rough. Hopefully,
I'm already over it,
you're
but
over it.
it still hurts
No.
me. It still
So
has
so
this.
now when you hear the songs, do the songs all make sense now? When you hear the love songs, do you think, oh, that's how I feel? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's this song. What was his name? Passenger. His name is Let Her Go. He says you only love her when you let her go.
Huh. All right.
So when I hear this, I think about her and I really miss her. I
Okay.
hope she's fine right now.
All right. If we had a really good producer, we'd have that music playing at the end of the show, but we can't do that. All right. Okay, Gabby, it's your turn. Final words.
I want to thank you all for having us here. Appreciate it actually. And I just want peace to survive and my country not to be hurt anymore. Uh, my love is to my country and to the whole world, of course. I'm not standing here just singing songs or whatever. No, but I just want the rest of the world know that we all got tired actually, and it's time maybe to breathe for a while. And thanks to Russia for supporting us
Yeah.
heartily. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. I do agree. I think that Syria is certainly taking the brunt of the new world order, and I got to give Assad as well as the Syrian army a lot of credit for surviving and putting up with this for 4 years, and you guys too, of course, deserve a lot of credit for coming here on the show and doing what you do. But I think that we're going to see the things turning around that are going to affect everybody in the rest of the world. So, it's not just a battle to save Syria, it's a battle to kill the demon, right? So I think that's what's happening. So you guys should be proud. And I think historically speaking, your your country has been involved in some pretty major historical events, and this is just another one, right?
Yeah, of course.
World changing for sure. Wow, let me see. Just a couple minutes left. I don't know what I'm going to do the next show, but if you guys are always welcome to send me messages, and if you have a suggestion, I try to stay fluid and allow for whatever is happening in the world to be what we talk about, and certainly the stuff that's going on in Syria. It seems like this is redundant, but it's not. There's always something going on, and certainly Obama saying he was going to go in there, and I mean, my God, these guys, Lindsey Graham. I don't know if you know these, and the rest of them. They're going nuts. This is probably Press TV calling me up, wants to do an interview. What I bet. Yeah, it is. I'll bet you anything. Wow. Hang on. This will be fun. Hello.
Mr. Kelley, how are you doing tonight? I'm so sorry to bother.
Oh, that's okay.
Press TV.
Press TV. How about that? You guys hear that, right? You guys hear that? We're actually on the air doing a show. I've got people with me right now in Damascus. But with the show's almost over, it's okay. You're welcome to. Would you like to say anything to the listening audience? Because they can all hear you. Introduce yourself to my listeners. Go ahead.
It's okay. I was wondering if you will be available for a recorded phone interview, and the subject is over the U.S. and South Korea are warning North Korea over the nuclear activities, actually. And we are wondering what's going on again there, and it seems that this war is never over.
Okay, do me a favor. Call me back in about 15 minutes. Send me the link, and we'll get this done. I'm almost done with the show here. So, but
Okay,
all
that
right.
would be lovely. I sent you the email. I messaged you the subject and the links on the Facebook, and I guess I call you back in 10-20 minutes. Is that okay?
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much, Kelley. Take care.
Well, you guys got to witness that, huh?
Did
Huh?
you see this? This is what I talked about, about South Korea and U.S. administration warning North Korea about leaving and abandoning the nuclear program, etc.
Yeah. They want me to comment on that on Press TV, but it'll be a radio interview. It won't be a TV, so I don't have to put a shirt on or comb my hair or anything like that. All right, everybody. It looks like I'm hearing music. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you guys for being here so much. We'll talk again very soon. Hang in there, Mahmoud. You'll feel better. I'm glad you're feeling better. Gabby, it's wonderful as usual. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, everybody. Seriously, everybody that's listening, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And give me feedback. I love it. Law17Den is my email. All right? Adios. Good night.
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio.